What's up, guys? I'm Patty. I'll be joined by Jay Bookie. Welcome to Dinger Tuesday, your weekly home run hookup, brought to you by GoldBoys.com. Every Tuesday, we're swinging for the fences and giving you our favorite home run plays from across the MLB slate. And Jay Bookie will be giving us a rundown of the whole MLB slate for Dinger Tuesday.
Hey guys, how's it going? Gonna start it off right away, going into Phillies versus Marlins. Just a few things I like to look at when I'm looking for home runs is looking at the pitcher, the handiness that they're throwing, and then also I like to give a look at how many home runs they've given up on the season to left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters. So for Phillies at Marlins, we got Jesus Luzardo for the Phillies and Cal Quantrill for the Marlins. So for the Phillies here, Jesus Luzardo has given up 6 home runs to right-handed batters and 0 to lefties. And Cal has given up 6 to right-handed hitters and 2 to left-handed batters. When it comes to the hitters, some things I like to look at is exit velocity. I like to look at either the past 2 weeks or past month as far as exit velocity, but I'll keep it at last 15 for this show. So looking at the Marlins, last 15 exit velocity, some guys that have some higher exit velocity. We got Dane Myers, who has 93.2 exit velocity his last 15, 2 home runs. And then Jesus Sanchez with a 92 exit velocity, 1 home run. If I had to take a pick for the Marlins, I would probably lean Jesus Sanchez. I like that matchup he's got going on with the 92 exit velo, and then also his barrel percentage at 15%. As for the Phillies, try not to go too chalky here, but obviously a guy that we always look at when we're looking at the Phillies is Kyle Schwarber. He has 11 home runs against right-handed pitching this season. He's got a 91.6 exit velo for the last 15. And also a guy that's been hitting really well lately is Max Kepler. He has 8 home runs this season against right-handed pitching with a 95.6 exit velo. So anytime I see a guy that's got a 95 or higher exit velo, that is usually some guy that I'm going to sprinkle on or throw in some kind of parlay. So for the Phillies, for this matchup, I'm actually going to go with Max Kepler. You got any other picks that you want to add to that?
You pretty much nailed it, though. You can't ignore Kyle Schwarber in this matchup. I know he's been kind of slacking for me whenever I pick him, but can't ignore him in this matchup against Cal. So that would be my pick. Would be Kyle Schwarber in this matchup. I know it's chalky, but it's hard to ignore him in this matchup with Cal. So definitely would go Kyle.
Absolutely. A few things I also like to consider, but in this case, it is in a temperature outside and then also where the wind is blowing. On to our next matchup, we got Pirates at Tigers. So for the Pirates, we got Bailey Falter pitching and then Casey Mize for the Tigers. Falter has given up 5 home runs to right-handed batters this season and 2 to left-handed batters. Casey has given up 6 to right-handed batters and 3 to lefties. As for the Pirates, when I'm looking at home runs, there's pretty much only one guy I'm going to look at when it comes to the Pirates. It's O'Neal Cruz. The guy's absolute beast. His exit velo is also one of the highest usually. He's got 12 home runs on the season versus right-handed pitching. His last 15, he's got 93.7. Just me personally, I don't know about you, Patty, but there's pretty much no one else I really look at when it comes to the Pirates. Maybe occasionally I'll look at Brian Reynolds, depending on the matchup.
That's who I was about to say. Is sometimes when you want to get those sneaky good odds, go for Brian Reynolds, and then sometimes Andrew McCutchen as well. But in this matchup, yeah, definitely O'Neal Cruz on that side, and then I was going to add for the Tigers side, definitely Spencer Torkelson, just because every time he's my right-handed batter for the Tigers that I like to bet on when he's facing a lefty. And then usually when there's a righty, I'll usually go Kerry Carpenter or Riley Green. So, but I definitely like Torkelson in this matchup.
Absolutely. He's actually he's leading the Tigers right now with 7 home runs versus left-handed pitching. His exit velo's been a little bit low last 15, but I mean he's one guy you can always count on, or Kerry Carpenter, like you said. So I'll agree with you on Spencer Torkelson with that pick there.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next game, we got Rockies at Nationals. So excuse me if I don't pronounce this name all the way correct, but we got Antonio Sensatella for the Rockies and Michael Soroka for the Nationals. So Michael has given up 7 home runs to left-handed batters and 1 to right-handed batters on the season. Antonio has given up 8 versus right-handed batters and 4 versus left-handed batters. So definitely some pitchers we would like to target here with a little bit higher home run giving up home run numbers. As far as the Nationals, there's only a couple guys I target on the Nationals as well. An obvious one is James Wood. He's another guy that's like O'Neill Cruz. He's always got high exit velo and just absolutely mashes the ball. He's almost matchup proof when it comes to who he's going up against. This season, he has 12 home runs versus right-handed pitching. Last 15 exit velos, 93.5. Another guy, Josh Bell for the Nationals. He's got 9 home runs versus right-handed pitching this season with a 95.1 exit velo in his last 15. I would probably go with those two guys for the Nationals. Yeah, what do you think on that one?
Yeah, so I hate when people say, "Oh, James Wood hit a home run," or "So and so hit a home run the night before." I love James Wood in this matchup. I don't care if he's hit a home run the previous game. I think that's the dumbest thing is when people say, "Oh, he hit a home run last night. He can't do it again." No, that's baseball is all about hot hitters. I'm all for James Wood in this matchup against Antonio. So he would be my pick for the Nationals.
Speaking of somebody that just hit, I think 2 home runs today for the Colorado
Hunter
Rockies,
Goodman.
Hunter Goodman for the Rockies. He's playing really well right now. He has 10 home runs versus right-handed pitching. Last 15 exit velo. I don't know if it's updated after tonight, but 95.1 exit velo last 15. He's got a 303 batting average versus right-handed pitching. Obviously, not many people you take from the Rockies, but I mean, if you had to take one, it would usually be Hunter Goodman and occasionally Jordan Beck or Ryan McMahon. But for the Rockies here, I'm going to go with Hunter Goodman. Going to stay with the hot hand. He just come off 2 home runs.
I'm right there with you, Hunter Goodman. I actually bet him tonight. I paired him with Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber let me down, but Hunter Goodman ended up hitting 2 home runs tonight. So yeah, I'll stick with the hot bat as well.
Speaking of letting down, Angels at Yankees today.
Yes.
Those are usually two pretty high-powered offenses, and I believe the final score of that game today was 1-0. So if you're an offensive better, I doubt you hit any of your bets tonight in that game.
Well, let's just say it was 1-0. I expect an explosion of offense this next game.
I would agree with that 100%. So let's get right into it here. For the Angels, we have Kyle Hendricks. He has given up 8 home runs versus right-handed batters, 4 versus lefties. For the Yankees, we got Will Warren. He's given up 5 home runs to lefties and 1 to righties. Obviously, with the Yankees, he's not a guy I bet on too often unless it's going to be probably about a 3 leg, or if it's tough to bet Aaron Judge because his odds are always so low. Right now, I believe they have him at plus 138 on FanDuel, but I mean, the guy's an absolute beast. He's got 17 home runs versus right-handed pitchers this season, a 378 batting average, 93.7 exit velo last 15. Just an absolute monster. I mean, you could always go with Aaron Judge. It doesn't matter who he's going up against. He's
Right.
matchup proof. But to go with something that's a little bit better odds for the Yankees, we got Trent Grisham, who has 11 home runs versus right-handed pitching this season. Exit velo is a little bit low, 87.2. Not something I would usually like, but as far as the matchup, he's got a 270 batting average. He's got the 11 home runs versus the right-handed pitching. Uh, I like him as well. I mean, there's a ton of guys you can take on the Yankees. Is there someone that you would take differently in the Yankees there?
So I don't have anyone for the Yankees in this game, but one of my Dinger Tuesday picks is actually from the Angels. And I went with Zach Neto. Zach Neto has a home run off Will Warren and is batting 667 off of him. So Zach Neto is one of my Dinger Tuesday picks.
Good pick. I would go with myself. Probably a little bit chalky here, but I'd probably go with Mike Trout just by looking at his recent numbers here. He's got 11 home runs versus right-handed pitching on the season. And like I said, with the exit velo, if I see a guy that's at 95 or higher, usually
Yeah.
he's about due for a home run, or it's definitely somebody I like to go after when the high exit velo like that. So I'm gonna go with Mike Trout. It says here he is priced at plus 320 on FanDuel. So on to our next matchup here. We got Diamondbacks at Blue Jays. So for the Diamondbacks, we have Brandon. I don't know how to say this last name exactly. I think it's Paft.
Yeah,
And
I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it.
and then for the Blue Jays, we got Chris Bassett. So Brandon has given up 8 home runs versus lefties, 6 to righties. Bassett has given up 6 to lefties and 4 to righties. I'm gonna start off with the Blue Jays. A few guys I usually go with on the Blue Jays would be Vlad. Occasionally, I'll check out George Springer, and then I'll
Vlad is banned.
yeah.
Vlad is banned by me.
He's a tough one, especially in the beginning of the season. His numbers weren't very good, but I don't know. I'll probably stay away from Vlad this game because his odds are also pretty low. But
This is where I wish Dalton Varsho was not on the DL.
yeah, Varsho is also another guy I definitely like to look at. But yeah, unfortunately, can't take him. I'll take a look at some exit velo here just to kind of get more of an idea. So even though you said Vlad is banned, his exit velo last 15 95.9. So just for that, just because I say I kind of like to look at the guys at 95, I know I said I probably wouldn't take him, but I think I'm going to go with Vlad for the Blue Jays. Is there anybody you would take separately? Obviously, because you're Vlad is banned for you. So who would you take?
I would probably go with Andy. I'd go with the lefty. Yeah, Addison Barger. That's who I would go with. Now that Dalton Varsho is injured, Addison's my lefty that I go with.
That's a great pick, yeah, because Brandon he's given up 8 home runs to lefties so far on the season, so that's a good pick. So for the Diamondbacks, I mean, there's a lot of guys I like on the Diamondbacks personally. I mean, you got Suarez, Carroll, Marte, Josh Naylor, Gurriel Jr. He can be a guy that can hit some home runs too. So I'll just take a look at the exit velo last 15 to kind of get more of an idea, and then also get a little look at the batting average. So Suarez last 15, 93 exit velo. He is the leader as far as exit velo goes for last 15 on the roster. The next closest would be Gurriel at 91.9. I think here I'm just going to go with Suarez. He's got 18 home runs versus right-handed pitching, 261 batting average, 93 exit velo. And also on DraftKings, it says here he's got a odds of plus 450. I think that's who I'm going to go with there. Who you would go with?
I would definitely go with Corbin Carroll. I think he's one of the best young players in the league. So definitely Corbin Carroll, and he seems to always come through for me as well. So that would definitely be my pick.
He's definitely due. I actually just went to a game this past weekend, and he hit one to the warning track, and I believe I bet him yesterday or today, I forget, and I don't want to chase him any further, so I hope he comes through for you. To the next game here, we got Twins at Reds. So for me personally, whenever games are in Cincinnati, the weather's nice, the wind's blowing out. I mean, this is a ballpark that you love to bet on when it comes to home runs. Right here,
That's why they call it the Great American Small Park.
it's it's nice. I mean, we got a 77 temp predicted for the game there, but the wind. isn't blowing out as of right now. It says on here on the website that I'm using. So let's take a look and see what our pitching matchups are. For the Twins, we have David Festa. He's given up 3 home runs versus right-handed batters and 1 home run versus lefties. And then for Cincinnati, we got Andrew Abbott. He's given up 5 home runs to right-handed batters and 1 to lefties. So I'm going to dive into Cincinnati first here. Obviously, some big names that you would want to bet on. A lot of people are going to bet on every single day. Ellie De La Cruz. He's a great matchup. A guy that it's absolutely smashes the ball. Occasionally people bet on McLean also. Will Benson, he's been hitting the ball really well. Uh, let's look at the stats here. So it says Ellie has 13 home runs versus right-handed pitching. He's got a 310 batting average, 93.8 exit velo. It's actually plus 350 for him, which isn't too bad. I'll probably take. I know it's super chalk, but I'd probably take Ellie on that one. So
Yeah. Um, I feel like every time Will Benson's at home, he smacks a home run. Can you double check that and see what his stats are with home and away? Because I feel like every time I bet on him at home, he smacks a home run. So that he would definitely be my pick.
um, I can pull it up real quick. Would you mind moving on
Okay.
to the next team there while I look up this information for you? So who
Yeah,
would your
so
pick be for the
if
Twins?
my I would have to go with Byron Buxton. Um, just his raw power. And like I said, they're playing in Cincinnati, and Abbott's given up 5 home runs to righties. So Buxton would be my pick.
That's
And I know there'll probably be a lot of people that will go Royce Lewis as well.
so Will Benson on the season for games at Cincinnati. It looks like he has one, two, three, four, five. He has 6 home runs at home this season. So, like you said, he's a guy that likes to hit home runs at home. It says here he's got 6 home runs versus right-handed pitching this season. He's got that 259 batting average. And his exit velo a little bit lower, but 88.5. But being at Cincinnati's ballpark there, I mean, balls can fly very easily.
Right. Yeah. So he would definitely be my pick for someone that likes to hit home runs at home. So yeah, definitely Will Benson would be my pick.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can take a look at a right-handed batter here for the Twins. Let me see here. So Castro, actually, he's got some good stats here. He's a switch hitter. He's got 3 home runs versus lefties, 327 batting average, and he has a 95.1 exit velo last 15. He's got plus 600 odds there as well. So I think for the Twins, I think I would dabble there
That's
on
good value
Castro.
too.
That is very good. All right, moving on to the next game here. We got Mets at Braves. That's going to be a great series. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of bets on that whole entire series there. So
Yeah.
we have David Peterson pitching for the Mets. He's given up 4 home runs against right-handed batters and 0 versus lefties. And then we got Spencer Schwellenbach pitching for Atlanta. He's given up 9 home runs to lefties and 1 to righties. So I mean, just looking at those stats right there, I would immediately just go look at Juan Soto. He's given up the 9 home runs to lefties. Let me take a look here and see what his exit. Oh man, exit velo 98.2 last 15 for Soto. I mean, that's definitely going to be a pick for me. And right now on FanDuel he's plus 420. So those are
Um,
pretty amazing odds.
I would I would have to go with the guy that's in my futures bet to hit 30 home runs on the season, Francisco Lindor.
That's a good pick. He's got a 282 batting average versus right-handed pitching, 10 home runs. 92 exit velo last 15. Plus 450 right now on FanDuel. All right, let's move on to Atlanta. A lot of heavy hitters in Atlanta. We got Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna, Ronald Acuna. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Let's see here. So David Peterson's given up 4 home runs to righties. I'm going to go and see if we can find ourselves a righty that's been hitting the ball really well last 15. So first,
And funny enough, Matt Olson has, I believe, when I was looking up at the stats, Matt Olson has 3 home runs off Peterson. That's something to look at. And Matt Olson's splits against lefties are surprisingly well. So he's not a person to ignore in this matchup just because it's a lefty lefty. Matt Olson has success against Peterson. So that's something to look at.
Yeah, I mean, stats don't lie, man. He's plus 450 right now on FanDuel. I mean, that'd be a solid pick. For me, I think I'm more of a, like I was saying with the batting average, the exit velos is kind of information
Right,
I like to look at. I mean, but definitely the head to head stuff is definitely stuff that you should be looking at as well. I mean, history. I mean, there's guys like Devers versus Garrett Cole, or I believe tonight there was I forget who it was, but I mean like Manny Machado versus the Dodgers. It seems like anytime Machado plays against the Dodgers,
right.
he smashes the ball. He hit a home run tonight. Anyway, not to get too off topic here. My pick for the Braves would be Austin Riley. He's got a 267 batting average versus lefties, 93.2 exit velo last 15. We got plus 500 on FanDuel right now.
And he also has a great average against Peterson as well. I saw that stat earlier tonight.
Perfect, even better. Alrighty, on to our next game. We got Orioles at Rays. This
This is
is
my favorite game.
yeah, I was just about to say. So with the field they're playing at right now, the minor league field, smaller field. The wind is usually majority of the time blowing out. Great temperature. So for the game right now, we have 86 degrees for the game with the 4 mile per hour wind blowing out. I mean, it's not crazy wind blowing out, but I mean it is blowing out. And then also the pitchers, it looks like they've given up quite a bit of home runs. I mean, Zach is for the Rays there. He's given up 11 home runs to righties and 10 to lefties. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's some heavy hitters in Baltimore for sure that we're going to be targeting here. But let's look at who's pitching for the Orioles. We got Dean Kremer. He's given up 8 home runs to lefties and 4 to righties. So going back to Baltimore, I think some of the obvious guys people like to bet on here is Gunnar Henderson. He usually always has a great exit velo whenever he's going up against a right-handed pitching. I mean, that's pretty much the only time I bet him. I don't bet on him when he's facing a left-handed pitcher.
No.
Yeah. So, and then also Cedric Mullins. Usually he's a pretty good target as well. Adley Rutschman, I believe he just hit one either tonight or last night. He just hit a home run. He might be heating up. Let's look at some of the exit velo here. So actually, our last 15 exit velo leader for the Orioles is Jordan Westburg. He has a 95.2 exit velo last 15 and with 7 home runs. So I think based on that, Westberg would be my pick for the Orioles.
Westberg's been on fire too since he's gotten back in the lineup. I actually have two picks in this game for my Dinger Tuesday. One from the Orioles, and I know everyone's going to be like, he's on a cold streak, I guess, as far as hitting home runs, but I'm going Gunnar Henderson. I just can't ignore him against a righty. So definitely going to go Gunnar as far as the Orioles.
Right now, they have his odds at plus 320 on FanDuel, so not too bad there. Moving on to the Rays, let's see some matchups here. I mean, some guys that I like to look at. I mean, there's four, honestly. We got Junior, Brandon Lowe, Jonathan Aranda, Yandy Diaz, and those are the guys that are at the top of the list here. Looking at last 15 exit velo, Yandy Diaz, last 15, 94.3. Aranda, 92.4. Lowe, 91.9. Junior, 91.8. All have great batting averages. We got Junior with 13 home runs versus right-handed pitching. Lowe with 12. Aranda with 8. And Yandy with 6. So, I mean, you can pretty much have your pick, I would say, from the top three. I mean, Yandy Diaz has the best odds at plus 480 right now on FanDuel, and he also has that 94.3 exit velo. So I think just for the price and the exit velo, I would probably pick Yandy for that game.
So my pick for the Rays would be Junior Caminero, and I'm actually going to pair up Junior Caminero and Gunnar Henderson as my 50% boost. on FanDuel for Dinger Tuesday, and I'm going to combine both of them in that same game parlay. Just love both of their matchups. And also, Gunnar Henderson has 2 home runs off Zach Little, and he's hitting 467 off of him. So, got to back Gunnar on that one.
100%. I agree with you there. Those are good stats. All right, moving on to our next game here. We got Cardinals at White Sox. Me personally, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think I've bet on too many Cardinals or White Sox to hit a home run this season.
I skipped this game too, so I didn't even touch this game.
All right. I mean, just for the video's sake, we can just go through this real quick here. We got Matthew Liberatore pitching for the Cardinals, and then Shane Smith pitching for the Sox. Matthews getting up 7 home runs to righties, 0 to lefties. Shane has given up 2 and 2 to both. If I had to take a pick here, let me look at the exit velo for Cardinals. 95.2 for Michael Taylor, plus 630. And then also for, my apologies. Let's go back. Edit for me, please, Y2K. So for the White Sox, if I had to take a player, let me look at the exit velo. We got 95.2 for Michael Taylor. And then for the Cardinals here, same thing. I'm just going to take a look at the exit velo. We got 92.7 for Wilson Contreras. You got anything you want to add to that game, or you just want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, I just have no desire betting on anyone in that matchup.
I don't blame you. All right, let's move on to the next one here. We got Royals at Rangers. Okay, so for Texas, we have Jack Leiter pitching. So Seth Lugo, he has given up 9 home runs versus lefties and 3 versus righties. Jack has given up 3 and 3 to each. I'm gonna go with Texas here first. Let's see, maybe we can take a look at a lefty here. Let me take a look here. That the exit velo.
Don't you dare say Corey Seager.
Actually, one guy that I've been betting on quite a bit for Texas has been Evan Carter. He's got 293 batting average versus right-handed pitching, and he's got 93.1 exit velo for his last 15. So actually, I'm gonna go with Evan Carter there for Texas.
I'm a big Jake Berger fan. He's also in one of my future bets to hit 30 home runs this year. So I would definitely go with Jake Berger.
Jake Berger, that's a solid pick. He's plus 450 right now on FanDuel. Has 7 home runs versus right-handed pitching. 90.9 exit velo last 15. All right, moving on to Kansas City here. Let's take a look at some exit velo. Bobby Witt, last 15, 93.6. He is leading the team in the last 15 exit velocity category. Has 8 home runs versus right-handed pitching. Only guy that has more versus right-handed pitching this season is Vinny. Let's just say Vinny. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name
Yeah,
again.
just roll with Vinny.
All right. So the only guy that has more home runs versus right-handed pitching this season is Vinny. So I'm going to go with the chalk pick here for Kansas City. I'm going to take Bobby Witt. He's plus 390 right now on FanDuel. Who would you go with
Okay,
there?
and I'm gonna go with one of my other Dinger Tuesday picks, and he's getting his first home run this year. Jack Caglione.
Ooh,
He's getting his first home run off of Jack Leiter.
I like that. He's plus 600 right now on FanDuel. That's a good pick. I like it. All righty, here. Let's move on to the next game. We got Brewers at Cubs. Cubs Stadium, Wrigley Field is one of those fields that very dependent on the weather. So right now, according to this site I'm on, we have 7 mile per hour winds blowing out towards right field. We got a 78-degree temperature, but then it also says there is potential for rain and it's partially cloudy. So some things that you want to take into consideration when you're betting on home runs. For pitching, the Brewers have Chad Patrick pitching, and for the Cubs, we got Ben Brown. Ben Brown has given up 5 home runs versus lefties this season, 3 versus righties. Chad has given up 6 to right-handed batters and 1 to left-handed batters. So there's a lot of guys you can like on the Cubs. Obviously, they got a lot of big names, a lot of heavy hitters. PCA is one guy who's had a great season. He's actually leading the team right now with 14 home runs versus right-handed pitching. He's got a 303 batting average, 91.7 exit velo. Right behind him, you have Michael Bush, 289 batting average, 90.3 exit velo. Uh, is he hurt right now? Michael Bush?
Who? Um, I'm not sure. I don't think he is.
Well, right now they don't have his odds up on FanDuel or DraftKings, so we'll have to look more into that. But just looking over at stats there, so I think PCA would probably be my pick. I mean, I know it's another chalky pick. It's plus 350 on FanDuel. He's got the nice exit velo, nice batting average, leading the team in home runs versus right-handed pitching. You got any picks there for the Cubs?
I'm a sucker for betting this guy, but I'm gonna go with Kyle Tucker. Um, I'm a sucker for betting on him, so that's who I would roll with.
It's not a bad pick at all. He's got 268 batting average, 91.6 exit velo, 8 home runs versus right-handed pitching. Solid pick. All right, moving on to the Brewers here. Um, got a few good matchups here. One that's popping off, looking right at me right now. Kristen Yelich. She's got 13 home runs versus right-handed pitching, 96.2 exit velo last 15. I mean, that
That would be my
yeah,
pick.
that's. I mean, nothing comes close to that, honestly, as far as statistics.
He's a hot hitter right now too. So Christian Yelich would be my pick for the Brewers.
All right, well, we agree on that one. Let's move on to the next game here. We got Red Sox at Mariners. So for Boston, we got Walker Bueller, and for Seattle, we have Brian Wu. Two guys that they're very, hot and cold. They can have a really good game, but they can also have a really bad game. So Walker Bueller, he's given up 7 home runs to right-handed batters this season and 4 to lefties. Wu has given up 8 to lefties and 3 to righties. So I'm going to jump right into Seattle here. I mean, obvious pick here would be Cal. He's got 18 home runs versus right-handed pitching. His last 15 exit velos 90, which usually you would see that a little bit higher. So maybe that's not somebody you'd want to look at. I mean, his odds are plus 230, so that's pretty much what it's going to be about all season is around that low 200s. We got Rowdy Tellez. He's actually got 11 home runs versus right-handed pitching this season. 218 batting average, 96 exit velo. He's got the highest exit velo last 15. Got plus 470 on FanDuel right now. That's probably what my pick would be if I had to take one here for Seattle.
So I'm going to go with Knoxville Catholic's own Cal Raleigh. He went to high school just down the road from where I live. So because when his dad was coaching at University of Tennessee, he played high school at Knox Catholic. So I got to go with the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, in this matchup.
Love it. That's a solid pick. He's one of those guys that pretty much matchup proof this season. So solid pick there. All right, let's hop right into Boston here. So I'm going to take a look at the last 15 exit velo. Try to get an idea of some guys maybe here. Looks like Duran, 92.8 last 15 exit velo. He's got a 282 batting average versus right-handed pitching, and he's got 5 home runs versus right-handed pitchers. I kind of actually want to see if we can take a look at more of a lefty here, just because Wu has given up 8 home runs to left-handed batters. So I'll probably go with Duran here. He's plus 520 on FanDuel. Who would you go with on Boston?
Um, I honestly don't have a pick for them now that Devers is gone and Abreu is hurt. So, I mean, I guess if I had to pick a lefty, it would be Duran. I'm just not really sold on any of their left-handed batters right now.
Yeah, I actually I faded them today. I thought that the whole news of them trading Devers, I thought that it was going to impact them, but they ended up pulling through. So we'll have to keep an eye on them. Maybe they won't be down bad like people think. So we'll see. All right, on to the next game. We got Guardians at Giants. So I know here they say the wind doesn't really affect the ballpark as much as some other places. It's more of a pitcher friendly stadium. So usually when they're playing at San Francisco, I try not to look at too many home runs. I mean, it's just
I
tough.
do not. I do not bet when they play in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, but I mean, just for the video's sake here, we'll go through it here. So for the Guardians, we got Cicerone. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and then Robbie Ray for San Francisco. So Slade has given up 3 home runs to each lefty and right-handed batters for the season, and then Robbie Ray has given up 5 to right-handed batters and then 1 to lefties. So looking over at the matchups for San Francisco, so I don't know. Have they said anything if if he's gonna play? Right now, it doesn't say that it's showing any odds, but I'm
Um, if I had to guess, I think he'll probably suit up. And they're probably just waiting to get that confirmation before they drop the odds for him. But if I had to guess, I'm willing to bet that he will play.
yeah. If I had to take a pick here, I mean, I'm sure everyone's gonna be on Devers' first game. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's in San Francisco, so it's definitely a tough matchup with the ballpark. I'd maybe look at his hits, runs, RBIs, or bases if I was going to bet on him. But we are looking at home runs strictly for this video here. So let's move on to the Guardians. So looking at some of the exit velo here, it's not very pretty actually, to be honest with you. I mean, it's I guess if it was a guy I had to take, I don't really bet many Guardians players, but when I do, it's usually Manzardo, Jose Ramirez. I mean, for me, that's pretty much about it. I mean, who else would you bet on for the Guardians?
I mean, I strictly go Manzardo or Jose Ramirez as well. In this matchup, I would go with Jose Ramirez just because he's the switch hitter.
Yep,
So I would roll with him. And then as far as the Giants goes, I would go with Mike Yaz. I like his matchup facing the righty.
absolutely. I mean, from I don't think I picked one for San Francisco, but if Devers is playing, I will go for that just because I know it's the fun pick for that one.
Right.
And then for the Guardians, I think I'm going to go with you with Jose Ramirez on that one. So we agree there. All right, on to our next one here. I think we got 2 more games left. So we got Astros at Athletics. So it looks like we do not have a pitcher in place for the Astros. And for the Athletics, we got JP Sears. So JP Sears so far in the season has given up 13 home runs versus right-handed batters and 2 versus lefties. So I would definitely say for me personally, I'm going to be targeting a right-handed batter for the Astros. So let's take a look here. One guy that I've bet on quite a few times is probably Diaz. He's got a 313 batting average versus left-handed pitching, 3 home runs, 91.8 exit velo. I think that would be my pick for the Astros for sure on that one. We don't have odds up, I'm assuming because it's a later game. So who would you go with if you had to take a pick here?
I would definitely go with Isaac Paredes. That would definitely be my pick, and I feel like he homers every Dinger Tuesday. It seems like.
Nah, he's a solid pick for sure. I definitely see his name quite a bit, so that's a great pick as well. So we don't have a matchup for the Athletics here, so we're going to be just looking at the last 15 exit velo lefty or righty, depending on who they put out there. So Nick Kurtz actually, I believe, right before we started the show, just hit a home run. He's got 94.8 exit velo last 15. Obviously, that the odds probably didn't change, or the stats didn't change on that since he just hit a home run just probably about an hour ago. Um, Looking at Brent Rooker, he's got 15 home runs, 276 batting average, 93.1 exit via the last 15. So he's probably going to be more on the lower odds there, more of your chalkier pick. I think Nick Kurtz, I mean, I think we were just talking about it earlier. You know, some people like to stay away from somebody that just hit a home run, but we kind of like to look at
Right.
those guys and, you know, they're hitting the ball well right now and go after them again. So I'm assuming Nick Kurtz, his odds might be more in the 500 range. So I think value also with him with his exit velo and just hitting a home run today. I'm probably going to go with Nick Kurtz there for the A's.
Okay. If a lefty's on the mound, I'm going to go with Rooker. and if or no, if a righty's on the mound, I'm going to go with Lawrence Butler, and then if a lefty's on the mound, I'm going to go with Brent Rooker.
Yeah, those are obviously those are two great picks there. Those guys are absolute beasts. So, all right, I think we're moving on to our last game here. We got Padres at Dodgers. Dodger Stadium, one of those places as well that if the temperature's good, wind's blowing out, you could see quite a bit of home runs. We got a lot of power on both these teams, star power, and obviously with the Dodgers, we got Otani, Muncy, Hernandez, Freddie, Mookie. I mean, the list just goes on. Padres, similar story. Tatis, Machado, Jackson Merrill. We got Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth. So I mean, it's just a ton of guys that you can pick from here. You can't really go wrong. I'm gonna go into the Dodgers here. I usually hardly ever bet Otani, to be honest, just because the same thing like Judge, his odds are usually just not
Right.
not worth it to bet on, in my opinion. I mean, some people maybe feel differently about that. So I'm going to take a look at the last 15 exit velo. Otani obviously leading 94 exit velo last 15, 283 batting average versus right-handed pitching. We got Max Muncy. He's got 9 home runs versus right-handed pitching, 279 batting average, 91.6 exit velo. Just for value, his odds are probably going to be more around, I'd say, the 300 range. I'd probably take Max Muncy there for the Dodgers.
And that's who I was going to go with too, because I can't go with Tawny because of those odds. So definitely go with Max Muncy.
Perfect. All right, for Padres here, take a look at the exit velo. We got Tatis, he's got 92.6 last 15. Machado, 90.7. I think Machado, same thing. He just hit a home run tonight as well. So
Yep.
I'd probably go with Machado. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe because he used to play for the Dodgers. He always steps up for the occasion when he plays against the Dodgers. So depending on who's pitching, obviously is going to be a big factor. The Dodgers don't have a pitcher listed at the moment. So without knowing that information, I would just look at Machado with him hitting a home run last night. His exit below not too bad. That would be my pick for San Diego.
And I'll give out two picks depending on the pitcher. If it's a lefty, I'm going to roll Tatis, and if it's a righty, I'm going to roll with Gavin Sheets.
Gavin Sheets, good pick. I like it. All right, so that's it for going through the games here. Do you think just for the stream here, maybe we should how about we do a three-legger? See what happens.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We can do a three legger.
All right, so I'll start it off. A guy that I was talking about earlier here. Let me see if I can go back up to his statistics. But it was Juan Soto.
Okay.
He had the 98.2. I'm a sucker for exit velo. He's got that 98.2 exit velo, and Spencer is giving up 9 home runs to lefties this season. For the three-legger, that would be my pick to add in there. Juan Soto, he is also at plus 420, which isn't too bad of odds there. Who would your pick be?
Okay. I think I'm going to roll with Gunnar Henderson just because his success against Zach Little with the 2 home runs, hitting 467, with the potential of great weather in Tampa. So that would be one of my picks.
All righty here. Let's see if we can get that third leg in here. Who was a guy that we both agreed on of who we liked? Do you remember a matchup that we both agreed on?
I mean, we both agreed on Jose Ramirez, but I want to stay away from San Francisco. So let's stay away from that one.
What do you think about
Um,
just because it's a three-legger, I don't mind adding in some of those juicier picks. What
yeah,
do you think about Cal?
yeah, because he's one of my Dinger Tuesday picks. So yeah, absolutely.
All right, we can go with Cal there. Well, so we got Cal, Juan Soto, and Gunnar Henderson there for a three-legger. I'll make sure to put the slip in the comments, see what the final odds are on that, and I'll see where the best odds are, which book. But that's the three-legger we'll roll with there. Anything else you want to add before we come to an end here?
Yeah, I was just going to recap my five dinger picks that I have for tomorrow. Cal Raleigh, Gunnar Henderson, Junior Caminero, Zach Neto, and Jack Caglione. Those are my five dinger Tuesday picks.
Right on. All right. If you guys got any suggestions, any comments, what you think we can do better, or if you think we gave a little too much information, whatever you got, let us know in the comments so we can keep these videos coming and then try to give out the best Dinger Tuesday picks for you guys moving forward. All right. Thank you guys.
Appreciate y'all.